Hi, my name's Peter Cauana. This is my vehicle. It's a blue Ford Transit 8-seater minibus, but I do not like it. Help me, used car heaven, please.
Hello and welcome to Used Car Heaven, the show that every week strives to sort the peaches from the lemons in the used car market. All the regular features this week, so it's business as usual at the trading post, the surgery is open for the car doctor, and we meet our guest punter of the week. And that's where it gets a little bit unusual. His name's Pete, and, well, I'm not being rude, but frankly, he's just a little bit odd. Peter. Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Thanks for coming along and doing this for us.
Yeah, okay.
I've described you as a bit odd.
Yes.
I'm not being cruel there, it's with good reason. Usually our punters for this fall into one category, so they might want a family car or a sports car, but it's a bit different with you.
Yeah, I'm a family man, but I'm also a young man. Yeah,
I'm not denying it.
And a businessman,
right?
In a way. So I need three different kinds of vehicles, but hopefully rolled into the one.
Because you can't go out and buy three vehicles.
You can't.
Much though we'd all like to. That's why we've got three completely different cars here, in case you're wondering what's the link. It's him, with good reason. Yep. Number one, Renault Scenic. Yeah. Obviously for the family man in you, you've got a little son. That's right. It's going to be quite useful. Yes,
it would be actually. It's just a big enough car.
Yeah, should do. Yes. Nice and practical. But then the one we're sitting on, the Alfa Romeo 156, we thought we needed to appeal to the young chap about town, because you're only 28. So
I'm only 28, yeah.
Just because you're a family man, it's not over.
It's not over yet.
No. So this is a bit more exciting, we thought.
This is me.
And then it gets really weird, because your job, it's Robbie Williams impersonating,
yeah? Yeah, I am, yeah. The best, yeah. So, and I need the best vehicle for that job. Yeah.
But obviously that means you're going all over the country, you've got loads of kit, presumably.
Yeah, I have, yeah. I use at the moment a minibus, which is very old and very impractical.
We thought the Land Rover Discovery might be a bit nicer for you, and obviously as an entertainer, image is important, so you've got to look pretty good when you picture. That's right, yeah. So that's our three completely different cars, and whilst you prepare yourself to try them all out, we'll find out a bit more about them.
Okay.
The Renault Scenic was the first of the mini MPVs, and since which there's been loads. Everybody's doing them, and with very good reason, because they actually make an awful lot of sense. They're based on the platform of a medium-sized hatch, in this case the Renault Megane, but then the body is kind of inflated to give this one box shape, which means there's a huge amount of interior accommodation. It's very comfortable and very flexible in there. You can move seats around. They make a lot of sense for another reason, and that is the Renault Scenic doesn't hold its value very well, which means second-hand, good news, because you win out. Somebody else takes the depreciation hit. You should be able to get a fairly recent car with reasonably low mileage for your money. So then, Pete, the Renault Scenic, first impressions, what do you think?
First impressions were that I'm 10 years too young for it. That was my first impression. Right. It's just not sporty enough. Well, as I say, it wasn't sporty enough. But as I'm in it, it doesn't actually. The outside doesn't bother me because there's so many gadgets inside it, and I'm a gadget man.
We should say, because if you don't know the Scenic, there are loads and loads of little cubby holes, and you're really into all of that.
I'm into secret cupboards. Yeah, I'd have my own safe built into the bottom of it, because one thing I don't have at home is a lot of storage space, and it's one thing I love, to put things away. And I have a drawer of amazing things. There are drawers under the seats in here, and I could put some amazing things in there.
Well, it does make a difference. I mean, if you think of it, when you've got your lad in here, and it's going to be nice and tidy, places to put stuff.
Yeah, there's plenty of space in the back as well for him.
So what about the drive?
It's a very comfortable drive. There's plenty of space, there's plenty of leg room, a very comfortable chair, very wide. I can spread my legs out, which is nice. I'm very comfortable. It's a good headroom too. I mean,
you do some pretty long journeys when you're going off to gigs. They're presumably length and breadth.
Yeah.
So you could be in this for hours.
I could be, yeah, and I think I would be very happy being in this for hours. At the moment, I'm driving around in a minibus, so and I have a car as well. If I can combine the two, it's going to save myself a fortune. And look at the back seats. The back seats come out. There's plenty of room in the back.
Peter.
Yes.
You were not exactly overwhelmed with enthusiasm for this car at the start, where you didn't run boyishly up to it, desperate to drive it.
I didn't think it was me, to be honest, what I would like out of a car, but we've had a go now. We've been inside it.
You've kind of changed your opinion a bit. What was it? Just sum up what it was about the car that's changed your opinion.
I sat in it for a while before I drove it, and I just thought, yeah, great, very interesting. But then you came along and showed me that amazing things, that the chairs come out and they come down and show that little table. There's drawers everywhere, there's little buttons everywhere. And that was it. Then when you walked off, I was playing for a while and I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
I mean, things like there's cubby holes in the floor.
Yeah.
The 3 rear seats that fold and you can take out. You like that.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's not exactly racy, is it, for a young man about town?
But the thing is, it's the driver that is racy. So the car can just be as basic as it wants.
Well, 2 more cars to go through. We'll get to car number 2 very shortly. But before we do that, on Used Car Heaven, it's time for Trading Post.
One of the things to consider when buying a used car is what sort of mileage are you going to be doing. If you're going to be doing a lot of mileage, then perhaps a diesel's the way to go. You get a great fuel consumption out of them. The servicing's quite cheap compared to a petrol because you've got less components to replace. They're great for the mileage, providing they've been regularly serviced. You could be talking 150, 200,000 miles. I've had diesels on this forecourt with 200,000 miles plus that have been regularly serviced and still drive like a Swiss watch. However, if you don't do a lot of mileage, then you've got to ask yourself, do you really need a diesel? First of all, it'll cost you maybe £800 to £1,000 more than a petrol. Secondly, a lot of people are put off by them, the fact that they're noisy, they're dirty, you get a lot of smoke out of them, etc. And the servicing, maybe not as many components need replacing when servicing, but they would need servicing more on a regular basis. So these are the other things you've got to take into consideration. And if that's the case, then perhaps a petrol's the way to go. Let's go and have a look at one of those. This is the same model as the car we just looked at, but this one's petrol. The difference in price between this and a diesel, same year, same model, would be about £800 to £1,000. Secondly, they're a lot quieter, a lot cleaner, better for the environment. Fuel itself, unleaded, is slightly cheaper to buy per gallon than diesel. Servicing requirements, every 10,000 miles as opposed to 6,000 miles. So, short journeys, I would probably consider a petrol because the benefits are not that much difference. It'll take you a lot longer to recoup your money back buying a diesel for the difference in the price of one of these. So that's another thing to take into consideration. So, if you're only going to be dropping the kids off at school in the morning or just popping down to the local shops, you're better off with a petrol. But if you're going to be jumping on the motorway and driving up and down the country all day, then you're better off forking out a little more and getting yourself a diesel. It's that simple.
So we've already established that Peter is a family man, but also that he's a young man. He's only 28, and we wanted to find a car that would appeal to that side of him as well. And we went for this, the Alfa Romeo 156. It's actually still quite a practical car. It's a 4-door saloon. The rear doors, the handles to those, are kind of hidden after the rear window, and the result is it looks like a very elegant 2-door coupe. In fact, when it was first launched, all around the world you could hear the sound of motoring journalist jaws hitting the deck, simply because, for a 4-door saloon, it's a very, very handsome car. Fortunately, the days of Alfa Romeo disappearing and crumbling away more quickly than a bread bun in an acid bath are long since gone. They are reliable, they will last and do the job. As for this particular example, in this rather striking baby blue, I do remember we had a family Vauxhall Viva in a similar colour. Somehow it looks like something out of a bathroom suite. Maybe it needs taps on one end. But hey, let's not let colour colour our judgment. Let's see what Pete thinks. So, the Alfa Romeo 156. Now, you're smiling.
Yeah.
I can see it. Why?
It's got loads of little buttons.
Right. Do you know, somebody spent a long time designing this car?
Do you know, it's James Bond car, this. If there were, I don't know about family, actually, it's not a bad family car, actually, with it having the 4-door at the back. it's still a family car. It looks sporty. I do like the inside of it. I think it's classy inside. I could pull up to many an audition, many a gig, pull up outside in this.
And the whole kind of black leather jacket thing works with it quite nicely as well,
It does, yeah, and the sunglasses, which are already over the side of me now.
Yeah.
The only problem is it's light blue.
It is blue, isn't it?
It is.
I think we've got to get past that colour. It does look like a bath. But in red or black, I mean, you find one in the colour you want.
Almost.
This is kind of good. But look, I'm going to be the sensible voice for you.
Yes, okay.
Yes, it looks great. Yes, it looks good on you. Yes, it's a lovely interior. Practical?
Not really. Can't get anything in it, can I?
I mean, what have you got to carry when you're going to a gig? What do you take with you?
4 speakers.
Yeah.
Huge box with all the things enabling the sound.
Yeah.
And huge box containing all the wires, my clothes.
What are you going to have, a trailer?
You're going to have
Another
to.
car?
I could always take the wood off the top of that other car, put it at the top of this.
It's not going to work, is it?
It's not, no.
It's a real shame, though. So then, Peter, the baby blue Alfa Romeo 156, or the bathtub, as we lovingly refer to it from now on. What do you reckon?
A very nice car. It was comfortable to drive, very sporty.
You looked to be feeling quite good in it. You seem to be enjoying it.
I felt fantastic in it. But then, you know, you're driving down the road and you're happy, and then you think, oh, you've got a family and a wife. And that sort of like shocks you back into state, and you have to go back to first gear and just drive it as it's a car. It's not. It's a wonderful car. I don't know whether it's practical enough for me. It's not the biggest.
Well, that is the other thing. I mean, you've got all that kit to carry to those gigs, 4 speakers and the rest of it, and it's a saloon. It's only got a saloon boot. It's not going to go in, is it? So, in our quest to find the perfect motor for our guest punter of the week, Peter, he's tried and tested 2 very different cars. There's one more to go. After the break, he'll be trying on for size the very, very big Land Rover Discovery. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to Used Car Heaven. That's me in the car on the right, and I'm being driven by Peter Cauana, who's a professional Robbie Williams impersonator. He's told us his needs, and we've fixed him up to test drive a Scenic, an Alfa 156, and soon a Discovery. But first, my esteemed colleague Ian Royal has got his own ideas of what would suit Robbie. Oh, sorry, Peter.
Now, Peter, the suggestions that Richard gave you for the Alfa, the Land Rover Discovery and the Renault Scenic were, of course, very good. But just looking at the notes that I've got here about what you're exactly looking for, well, something sporty with a good image, a safe family car, yes, all good, and something that's a bit on the large side to carry all that equipment about. Now, all those suggestions are very good, but maybe there's a car that's a little bit different that you haven't thought about. I've been looking through the guides and I've come up with a suggestion in the form of the Toyota RAV4. So Peter, why exactly am I suggesting that this might be the right car for you? Well, it's very smart and stylish and chic. It looks good on the road. It's also extremely reliable and very hard wearing, with lots of tough plastic for the kids that you'll inevitably have in the back. And take a look at the space. And look, it's very easy to do as well, and honest, this is only the 3-door version. See? It likes you already. Now Peter, perhaps you'd never thought about owning a 4-wheel drive car before. Well, the good news is that the RAV4 is not like most other 4x4s in that it's fairly compact. It's not like that big chunky Land Rover Discovery, which I know has got lots of space in it, but it's just too big, too cumbersome. By this, it's got a nice 2-litre, very perky 130 brake horsepower engine, so it feels quick enough as well, and it can still go off-road should you want it to do. I can well see you driving a RAV4. I think that this could be the perfect car for you. It seems to meet all your needs. You've got all that equipment to carry about, so you can lug it in the back, put the seats up in this 3-door model, or better still, go for the 5-door model, which offers you even more space. Well, the great thing about buying a Toyota is that you know it's going to be reliable, but with it being a 4x4 off-roader, you need to check underneath to make sure it's not suffered any damage at some stage. So if you're buying it from a main dealer, Peter, that's not going to be a problem. That will be checked out. But if you were to buy it privately, it's worth taking this car around to your local garage, getting them put it up on the ramp and check that out. Also check for uneven signs of tyre wear too. And a general underneath check will make sure that it's completely clean. So Peter, what could possibly stop you from buying this particular RAV4? Well, I've got a bit of a confession to make, because this car is slightly more expensive than you wanted to spend. It's about £9,000. But I've been looking through the guides, and I reckon that you could find a very, very nice P-Reg RAV4 for around £8,000, easily within your budget. What do you think about that?
If this were being judged purely by pound for pound, or how much car you get for your money, there could be only one winner. The big fella, the mighty Land Rover Discovery. It is huge. It fits into the Land Rover range, of course, between the purely utilitarian Defender, the farmer's friend, and the rather swish Range Rover, favourite of business executives the world over. The Discovery is a mighty sturdy vehicle. Just because it's smart and comfortable, it's still actually very competent off-road. And you do get a huge amount for your money. Obviously the scale of the thing, but kit as well. This is an ES version, for which you get air conditioning, leather seats, and an extra 2 seats in the back, so it will seat 7, which means not just Pete and his wife and their boy, but maybe 4 of his little friends as well. When it comes to transporting his kit around, well, there's a huge load space in the back. I don't actually know quite what a Robbie Williams impersonator needs to carry with him, but doubtless it will fit in. There were problems with early Discoveries. Most of them, by the time you get an older one like this, will have been ironed out, which is one of the advantages of buying second-hand. And they can do enormous mileages. 250,000 isn't too uncommon. So for ploughing up and down the nation's motorways loaded with kit, the tall and short of it is, the Discovery should more than measure up. Well then, lastly, the big fella, the Discovery.
King of the road.
Oh, are you grinning now? Can I just explain? We've spent the last 10 minutes with Pete experimenting with the electric seats.
Yeah, heated seats. I mean, oh.
And electrically adjustable, which you quite like.
I think this is fantastic up to now.
Yeah.
Just getting used to it. I like to be king of the road, basically, and this is very high up. You know, you can drive over minis at the lights and things like that. That kind of thing. People don't tend to mess when you're bigger than them.
Yeah, you are so enjoying this car.
I am loving it.
It's the first time you've really grinned. Look at that. Look at that grin. This car put that on that man's face.
It certainly
Why?
did. Well, it's just a wonderful, wonderful machine. It is huge.
It is very, very
It is
big.
huge. It is very big, which, you know, in some ways reminds me of me.
Yeah.
It is classy, which in some ways reminds me of me.
All right.
And it's, I don't know, it's just dead comfortable in it.
Right, well, look, you've got to go and wait and think about this, because we've got to have a final verdict, a decision from you, OK?
OK.
You've got to choose one of the 3. We'll be doing that very shortly, but first, the surgery is open for the car doctor.
Now, I've noticed whilst I've been driving this car that there's a horrendous clunk on it, and the owner clearly isn't very mechanically minded, and it's got this horrendous noise on the clutch pedal, if you can hear that. Now, to an unsuspecting punter, I can imagine him taking this into the garage and getting the leg pulled a little bit to the tune of maybe a few £100s on something very interesting. But in reality, all it needs is a quick tweak by hand. Now, this is a Ford Maverick, but it's exactly the same pedal box on a Nissan Terrano. And every single one of these that I've driven, they've all done it, and it's really annoying. But I can imagine if you took it into a garage, you could possibly get your leg pulled. But if you watch this, you'll see how to repair it. All it needs is, it just needs dragging over to the passenger side like that, and you'll see it's magically cured. So if yours is doing it, and I suspect it will be because every single one I've ever been in does do it, do that and you've magically repaired it.
Right then, this, my friend, is it. Crunch time, you can't put it off any longer. You have tested, driven, crawled all over, explored, thought about and considered all these three very different cars.
Yeah.
We've got to have a decision from you. Before you tell us, just a reminder of why we're sitting in front of three such different cars, and that's because your needs are so varied. You are a family man, that's a big part of your life.
That's a big part, yeah.
You're still a young man.
That's a bigger part.
At 28, clearly you don't want to be too boring. And also with your work as an entertainer, a Robbie Williams impersonator going all over the country, you've got a load of kit and a lot of miles to do. So
That's right.
it's quite demanding. You've got quite a lot to ask of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's your big build-up. We've put these three in front of you. What's it going to be?
Right, with serious consideration, the car we're actually sat on at this precise moment is a lovely vehicle if I was a single man.
So,
However...
Your heart would say this, but no.
Well, no, colour-wise, my heart wouldn't.
No.
Interior-wise, button-wise, yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's not right.
Yeah.
It's not right at all. And we come to my baby, which is just on the right over there. I think that's absolutely fantastic, but I think I need to be about 40 years old in order to drive that, and I'm a bit too young for it.
Possibly to afford to run it as well.
To run it too, yeah.
And so you're going to go for?
I'm going to go for the nice little
You
Renault.
hated it first
I know
thing.
I did.
But there's got stuff in it that kids just love, and being a kid at heart still.
I'm not surprised, because you did change your opinion. The moment you got in that car, you slowly started to think, hang on.
Yeah,
It's a car you'd never have looked at, would you?
Well, no, it was when you start showing me the bits inside that I didn't even know were there.
It worked.
That was it. There was like, well, practical.
Good decision. I think it'll meet everything you want. It'll
Yeah.
do the miles, you get
I
your
do.
kit in it. Well, good luck in it. I hope it works for you. Thanks for being our guest punter
Okay.
and for letting us into your life. Do join us next week. Ian Royal will be your host on Used Car Heaven, so we hope to see you then.